Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is TheCrissyMack and thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, thanks for joining the family. If you haven't already, please hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. If you don't, like, I'm going to feel some kind of way. My feelings are really going to be hurt, so I'd appreciate it if you just tap the button. Today we're going to get to part 4 of the beauty series, from skincare all the way to a flawless face. We started off with skincare, then we did brows, then we did foundation, and now we're on to highlighting and contouring. Yes! So am I the highlight and contour guru? Absolutely not, but people have asked me how I do it, so I just want to share my opinion with you guys and my techniques so you'll know what I do and you can follow along if you choose to. If not, it's okay. So if you want to see how I highlight and how I contour, stay tuned. Okay, so for highlight and contour, I don't really think that my process is any different from anybody else's, but I will show you the products that I like to use. Because my foundation is so red and it's my summer shade, I'm going to go in with my NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Caramel. It's a little light, so it kind of helps to balance things to me. Typically I would use Fawn by LA Pro Conceal or Rich Caramel by Ruby Kisses. Actually, I think I'm going to use the Ruby Kisses because it's still pretty light. Yeah, I'm going to use the Ruby Kisses. So, like everyone else, I go under the eye. If you're an MUA, make sure you're not using something with a doe foot applicator. If you don't know what a doe foot applicator is, this is it. That's a doe foot applicator. You don't want to put something on someone's face and then go back in. It's transferring, you know, germs and things like that. Since I have a big forehead, I don't like to highlight my forehead a lot. I like to just keep it right here, you know, because it's big. It already stands out, so there's no need to highlight that. I like to go down the bridge of my nose. I like to bring a little bit under the nose. And then whatever's left, I like to go on my chin, and I just kind of keep that centralized. I don't like to go too much. And I think this is going to be enough. I might do more depending on how full coverage I want to go. So to blend this out, I may use my same foundation brush, which is just a flat foundation brush, or I will use a sponge, a damp sponge. This one is the Complexion sponge by Real Techniques. I get mine at Target. They sell them at Target for $5.99. You can get them at Kohl's as well or online. Today we're going to use the sponge to blend that out. So when I'm going under my eye, I squeeze my sponge to help me get more of a precise application so I can really get under the eye. And then I like to turn my head down to expose all that skin under the eye, because if you're looking down and you see how my eye just touched and now there's concealer on my eye, I feel like looking down, it just doesn't really help you get that really sharp application. So I like to look down, squeeze the sponge, and blend that out all the way up into the eye. And I like to kind of turn my face different angles, because people are going to look at your face from different angles. So I like to turn it around and like to see how it is. And then whatever's left, I like to go on top of the eye just to mute it out a little bit. Then once I do that, I like to go in with my foundation brush and blend those edges out. That'll help keep you from having that really obvious demarcation that some people have on their makeup because they don't blend. And not everybody cares to blend, you know. Some people, it's not their thing. But this is how I do it. And then I go in that area and I kind of just do it straight on to kind of move the product around. I don't know, the long way is, I guess the long way does work, but because I like to concentrate it just in this small spot, I like to do it that way. And then I squeeze the sponge again and go down the nose. And now I set my, actually no, now I go in with my contour. I cream contour and then I set it with a powder. Sometimes I just powder contour. It really just depends on my mood. I feel like I should show y'all my powder. I mean, it's powder, and I go in the same way I would do, well, I have to set it, so I'll show you what I set it with when I'm done. So for contour, I've been using the Fenty Beauty Match Sticks in the shade Espresso. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing with your life? This is super dark. This is super dark. As you can see, I'm not very dark. I'm not light, but I'm not super dark. So I like to just go in with a little bit. I don't press down hard. And I keep it right, just right on that cheekbone, not necessarily under it. And I kind of, if I go under, then I blend it up. If I go up where I am now, then I kind of blend it down just a little bit. More concentrated in that spot. I really don't feel like this blends out very well on the forehead. I've tried it several times, but I just don't feel like it blends out very well. I still do it. I don't want to show y'all though, because I don't feel like, it doesn't work all the time, and I have to work really hard to blend it out. But in the cheeks, it works wonders. So then I go in with a brush. This is the Morphe E4. It's a really good brush. It's angled, as you can see. It's an angled brush. I love this because it gets right in the cheek, and I blend that out. When I first start, I squeeze the brush like this, and I kind of move the product to spread it a bit. And when I contour, I start at the top of the ear, and I kind of take the product just to where my brow ends, and I blend it out there. And I kind of keep it right in that area. And I'll change the direction of the brush. As I blend it out more, I'll let the brush go. In the beginning, I start with the brush to move the product about, and then I'll kind of let the brush go to really kind of blow it out a little bit. And then whatever's left, I like to kind of take it across the top of the forehead and concentrate it right in that temple area to kind of suck the head in. So now I'm going to set everything. I like to go in with that sponge again and kind of blend out those creases that the concealer may have settled into. If there's a crease and you set it, it's going to be there. If you put powder on it and it's creased, it's going to stay. So make sure you're blending that out first. So, oh, I should show y'all what powder I'm using. So for setting powder, I use the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. I got it on Amazon. So what I'll do is I'll mix that with the Mercier loose setting powder, the translucent. So what I do is I pour some of the powder, the Mercier, I like to lay that down first. I pour it in the cap, squeeze my sponge again, dip it in, and then tap it on the side. And I go in and set that under eye. And whatever's left, I'll do the forehead, down the nose, and the chin. I don't ever feel the need to do extra powder in those areas. And then I'll do the smile lines, because I do crease in my smile lines. And then I will go on top of this with the Sacha Buttercup to add a little color back in, because the Mercier is a bit white. And I don't always notice the whiteness, but sometimes I do. So to counter that, I'll just, I'll do a little bit of the Sacha in the lid, in the cap. Not a whole lot, doesn't take a lot. Same process. Tap the excess. And I really like to press that powder in the skin. To really help it set and really mattify that makeup. I think that's the key with the setting powder, is to really press it in. My sponge is a little dry because I've been recording for quite some time. I typically like the sponge to be a little more wet, to the point that the powder melts into the skin. So next I like to set my cream contour, and I like to do that with a powder. I use the NYX palette. I've been using it for forever. This fell out, or this pan fell out. But I like to use this, and I'll mix the deepest shade and the second deepest shade. More so this shade, because this is a bit red. But I'll go over top that cream, and then my forehead I'll do that. And I use the same brush that I use for the cream. So I'll dip in here a few times and then just a little bit in there. Again, I squeeze that brush to get the product in place. Same thing on the other side. And the forehead. I'm not gonna lie, I don't do the other side of my face when I have my hair on my face. I don't see the point. Maybe that's lazy, but it just, you're not gonna see it. So I don't really feel the need to do it. And then I clean off the excess like with my hand, because I don't need any more color. I think I have enough color. I'm warmed up enough. Right now I just need to blend it out. And then I'll just go in completely blown out, not squeezed. I don't squeeze it. And I'll just blend that out. And I'll take that same brush and go along the sides of my nose and kind of take it up into the hair because it's a little warm. I probably should have just stayed in that lighter one, but I mean, this is the real stuff that happens. This is how it really happens. I don't want to come over here and make it look more glamorous than it is. Like I have all the answers. I mess up my makeup all the time and I just make it work. So next I like to sweep away that powder. I like to use the Real Techniques blush brush for that. It's like a little rabbit split to me. That's that brush. As you can see, mine is yellow because I did use it earlier, or not earlier today, but yesterday. But what I like to do is I like to go under and sweep that powder away. And that powder doesn't just sweep away with one swoop. Like, you have to sweep and sweep and sweep some more until it's really gone. So then I like to go in with a flat top Kabuki, a really thick brush, but this brush is so soft. This is an e.l.f. brush. I love it. It is the e.l.f. I don't know, flat top or not flat top, but Kabuki brush. Once I discovered this is the only thing I like to do this next step with, and I don't stray, like, because it works. So I like to go in around the edges and blend it in together where the highlight and contour meet. Brush off any excess powder. Just kind of blend everything. Then I like to go in with my foundation powder, the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade Dark. You've seen this on my channel before. I like to go in with it and blend everything together. Actually, no. I like to do blush next. So for blush, I like to go in with the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade Sun Power. And I like to go in with a smaller brush. This is a MAC 168 brush. I don't even remember buying this brush. I wonder if this is a gift. But it's an angled brush with the white hairs. I like to use a smaller one and an angled one because I can get right up on that cheek. I don't have to worry about blush going everywhere. And I know it still kind of looks a little powdery, a little crazy, but it'll come together, I promise. So I just like to dab it in there because a little bit goes a long way. Brush the excess and just gradually add pigment as I see fit. And I kind of try to concentrate it right here on the apples of my cheek. And sometimes I may just add the pigment until I get it to the intensity that I want. Like so. Whew. And then just blend it out. And that was just me blowing away the excess. Final step is to go in with that Skinfinish in Dark, the Mineralized Skinfinish in Dark, and that Kabuki brush from earlier, and blend everything together. That way you can't tell where anything starts and where it stops. I don't like any true lines of demarcation. Some people do, but I just like to go over like everything and just blend everything together. See how you can't really tell where the highlight stops, where the contour starts, where, you know, the blush starts. It's all just kind of smooth, but you can tell that it's there. That's how I like for it to look. Okay, so now that we have everything in place, we have our canvas done, our base. We want to go in and spray with a setting spray to lock everything in, to get rid of that powdery look and keep everything in place so it doesn't slip and slide throughout the day. Right now I am loving the Skindinavia makeup finishing spray, the Bridal. I love this stuff. I like to shake it up and then spritz my face. I drown myself. I always tell my clients I'm about to drown you because I feel like the more you spray, the better it locks it in. Now that's not the case with some sprays like the NYX, or is it the e.l.f? It's one of the NYX sprays because they have a dewy finish and they have a matte finish. And then definitely the e.l.f. The more you spray, it can look blotchy and it just doesn't look good if you spray too much. Okay, so next we're gonna do highlighter. I like to do my highlighter after I do my setting spray because I just feel like it makes it look better. I don't know. For highlighter today, we're gonna go in with the Artist Couture and Jackie Aina LaBronze Diamond Glow Powder. Yes, come through LaBronze. I am a Jackie Aina fiend. Like, I love her and I watch all of her videos. I obsess over them. I reference them. I use them faithfully for what products to buy. So to apply my highlighter, I like to use different types of brushes. It depends on my mood. I'll either use a fan brush like your typical YouTuber. This is the Morphe 310. This is the Morphe 501. There's enough on the cap to get you there. Like that little bit on the inside of the cap. I don't know why I got the extra piece in there still. It's enough. Like this Diamond Glow powder is, she did not come to play. So I like to try to focus it right here. Like, proceed with caution. If you are not old enough to ride this ride, if your feet dangle when you sit, like, do not use this because this is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for the unsure. Baby, girl. Girl, this is so beautiful. And you know it's beautiful when you've used it several times and you still have to say, this is so beautiful. And what I do like to do is I like to dab in with my finger, and right there, the typical, you know, Instagram YouTuber nose highlight. Okay, so that is it for the face. We are done. Ooh, highlight popping or whatever. So sorry, my camera died, like, and stopped recording. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's not my night, but we got through it. I thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions for me, leave them down in the comment section below. And until next time, dream big, love hard, make mistakes, and have no regrets. And I'll catch you in the next video.